Okay. Namaste, Sharada Madam.
Namaste.
Welcome to you to our knowledge sharing program. I think today, tomorrow, entire country is celebrating Holi Festival because there is a Hunima is there.
Yes.
So I would like to have knowledge about the Holi. Its background related to the spiritual background, cultural background, and our traditional background. Because our festivals, all our festivals are interlinked with culture, our tradition, as well as there is a spirituality, there is a meaning behind it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I would like you to explain about it as far as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Ravindra, for having me. And at a very short notice, we've decided to speak about Holi.
Yes.
First of all, let me take this opportunity to wish all our listeners, viewers, a very, very happy Holi. The significance of Holi is basically it kind of coincides with spring, which is the Vasant festival, the Vasant season, which is a season of color. Even nature makes it a very colorful, bright. You look at all the trees, whether it is in Delhi or Bangalore or anywhere in India, you have beautiful flowers, you have lovely, on the trees, you have different colors. So basically nature itself presents itself in a very colorful form. And then, especially in northern India, the cold season is getting over. So people are welcoming the warm, fresh season. It is also exactly 40 days from the Vasant Panchami festival, which is held. So it is like, I think there is a completion to the welcoming of spring. So that is another advantage. Of course, it's held on the Purnima of the Falgun month in the northern, or in the what we call the Chandra calendar, the lunar calendar. But it is also a festival of color. It is a far more, a lot of people don't even realize that there is a spiritual aspect to it, because it has so much of social and cultural excitement and fun and, camaraderie. This is especially in the Hindi belt and in the northern regions of India. Holi is considered to be that time when you forget all your enmities, you forget all the problems, all complaints, any problem you have had with anybody, you forget all that and you go and gale milte hain sabse, which basically means you go and hug everybody. Everyone becomes a friend. But beyond this natural spring festival and the social aspect of the festival, which we will also discuss later, the most important aspect, which is a religious aspect, where we could think of what is religion or what is spiritual about it, is quite like most of our other festivals like Dussehra, Vijayadashmi, or even Deepavali. It is also a festival of good over evil. It is a victory of good, victory of dharma over adharma. So this is also significant of that. And amongst our mythologies, this can be taken to the Bhagavad, where we have the story of Hiranyakashipu. I'm not sure if, I'm sure most people know about it. Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha were the two brothers. Actually, Jaya and Vijaya, they are the two Dwarapalakas of Vaikuntha. And they were cursed to come and be born thrice in different avatars. And this particular avatar of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha is relevant to Holi, because Hiranyakashipu had a boon from Lord Brahma, that you cannot be killed, because he was a very evil person. He was creating a lot of problems for people, but he had done a lot of tapasya to Lord Brahma. So he had been given a boon that you cannot be killed in the daytime, you cannot be killed at night, you cannot be killed inside or outside, you cannot be killed by a man or an animal. So like that, there were several points which he had managed to get this blessing from Lord Brahma. He, of course, gave birth. I mean, he had this son who turned out to be one of the greatest devotees of Vishnu, Lord, which is whom we all know as Prahlad. Now, Prahlad is, even in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that among all asuras, he is the greatest of them all. So if you ever want to be an asura, you should be like Prahalad, because Prahalad was such a complete devotee of Vishnu that even though his father was so cruel, so evil, he kept worshipping Vishnu. And Hiranyakashipu got so angry that he wanted to kill his own son. So in this particular incident, he calls his sister, who is Holika, and he makes her come carry Prahlad in her arms, in her lap, and sit in fire, because Holika had the special power that she would never get burnt by fire. So Holika sat on this like a funeral pyre, holding this Prahlad boy in her lap, and he set fire to it. But because of Lord Vishnu's glory, Prahlad comes out unscathed, and Holika gets burnt. So today, which is the eve of Holi, where in the north they call it Choti Holi also, and they call it Holika Dahan. This is basically significance of this is the killing of Holika by Prahlad, who was one of the prime devotees of Lord Vishnu. And then, of course, the in the Dashavatar, the Narsimha avatar is connected to Hiranyakashipu, because subsequently Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, where is this Vishnu? You keep talking about him. Where do I find him? Will he come from this pillar? And then the pillar he knocks, and out emerges this half man, half lion. And then it is neither day nor night. He goes to the threshold, which is neither daytime nor night. And then he says it should not be on the ground or in the akash. So he's put him, in his hands, and then he just, with his nails, he tears him apart and he kills him. So that is how the Narsimha avatar story comes. And that is the connection with Holi. So there is a spiritual connection. There are some very powerful Narsimha chants which people suggest you should do on this day. Apart from that, any other Raksha stotrams you can always say, because this is a time for good to have victory over evil. So anywhere where adharma has happened, this is a good time for it to end and for goodness and dharma to rule. So therefore, that connection remains with Holi also. As regards celebration of Holi, it is an absolutely probably one of the most beautiful, visually delightful, happy festival where everybody is singing, dancing. There is no, they forget all their problems and they come together. And one of the most beautiful descriptions of Holi is the Brij Bhumi Holi, or the Radha Krishna Holi, because that whole area of Brij Bhumi has these beautiful stories of Holi, where the love of Radha and Krishna is celebrated. Krishna goes to his mother and complains that, why am I so dark? So she says, you go to Radha, go to her village, and she will color you, and whatever color she colors you, you will become that color. So Radha, he goes and meets, and it seems Radha is full of colors, and the same colors get reflected on Krishna. And so, it is all a question of how it's all the playful and yet so powerful, the beautiful love of and pure love of Radha and Krishna. There is this story of the Latmar Holi, where, Barsana, which is the village where Radha is originally from, and then these boys from Nandagaon, which is Krishna's village, they will go to this village called Barsana. And the women in Barsana, even mainly the married ladies, because Radha was also a married lady, the married ladies come with sticks and they'll beat the boys. And then that is allowed. And there's a little bit of flirting. And, it's a very open and liberal kind of a festival, unlike very social. No caste, culture, creed, nothing is seen at that time. Everybody is out on the streets. Everybody colors themselves. So you don't know who is who. So it's a very different kind of a very equal kind of society, kind of image that comes out of it. And then there are innumerable songs about Radha and Krishna and their beauty and their love, and they're playing Holi together, and how Kanhaiya is troubling Radha, putting color on Radha. So many of our music, songs, thumris, classical music, there is just a whole treasure of music and songs. And even in our Hindi films, we have so many Hindi movies, and I think even in many other regional movies, there are lots and lots of scenes of Holi. Some of the very powerful ones, I mean, I think even Sholay and so many others have had lovely scenes. Even the new movies have Holi scenes. So Holi is this beautiful, fun festival. Everyone feels young. Everyone feels they can break out of tradition and break out of the day-to-day humdrum and walk into normal streets and live life happily. That's a beautiful part of Holi. In the south, there's also another connection, especially in Andhra. I don't know, you come from Andhra, so you might know that Holi is also connected with Lord Kamadev. So they call it the Kama Purnima, in fact, because this is probably the day when after Shiva, if you know Parvati did this penance to get Shiva, because Shiva had decided not to get married after his first wife Sati died. So this young girl, daughter of a Himalayan king, Parvati, who is also an avatar of the Devi, went into this very deep penance. And then I think Lord Kama was asked to help. So one day she goes to put a garland on Lord Shiva, and Kama strikes his arrow, which is basically, he's the god of love. And when he strikes his arrow, Shiva first, of course, opens his eyes and sees Parvati and develops affection for her. And then he somewhere realizes that Kama has spoiled his tapasya. So he opens his third eye and burns Kama. And then Kama's wife Rati comes and cries and says, "You have to, help my husband. He was only doing this for your sake, because you had to get married to Parvati, and this was Lord Vishnu's directions." So then Shiva says that after 40 days you will get resurrected or something like that. So Holi is this Purnima is the day that Kama is resurrected also. So that also is a very powerful story in our culture. For the east of India, there is another very beautiful, because it is also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthday. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered to be one of the revivers of the Bhakti movement. And the Bhakti cult has covered, especially if you look at Andhra, at Odisha, West Bengal, Assam, these states, the whole Bhakti cult and this Chaitanya movement have been very powerful. So in Odisha, we celebrate, I'm married to an Odia, so I know this also. We celebrate Holi as Dola Purnima. And Dola Purnima is again a very powerful Lord Jagannath and Lakshmi, because there Jagannath and Krishna and Vishnu are merged. So Jagannath and Lakshmi are carried in a procession, and again there is they take it they take it to house, and there are colors put, and so there's a whole lot of the Radha Krishna cult, and then the Lord Jagannath cult. So it's a very beautiful festival that way. Holi, there is music, there's dance, there's color, you play the flute, and of course there is naughty behavior also. This is a time when boys can tease girls and all that. Some people try to make it a very ugly scene also, which we have to prevent. People have also said don't waste water. But Holi is like in the Bihar, for example, where I grew up, it's again a very big festival. So morning they play with wet colors. And then in the evening they have a separate Holi where they wear new clothes and put dry colors on each other. So that also goes on, visiting each other's house. Then of course there are the beautiful sweets of Holi. Everyone knows that. There is Gujia, which is a very famous sweet connected with Holi. There's Malpua, which is again a sweet connected with Holi. Bhang or Thandai, where you know that milk and bhang you use. It's a little bit of an intoxicating drink, so that you can lose your inhibitions and play Holi without inhibitions. So all these, playing the dhol, playing dancing, coming into public parks. You can't play Holi inside your house because you will dirty it. So you have to go out into your public parks. So after 2-3 years of lockdown, I think this year, at least what I can see in Delhi, at least, is that there is a whole excitement that after 2 years of lockdown, where people have not been able to celebrate this festival in its proper sense, people are really looking forward to Holi tomorrow. And I just hope that everyone has a happy, healthy Holi, and everyone has prosperity and good things in their lives, good health. I think this is about it.
It is very wonderful. You almost took all of us around the country, explaining different states, its originality, its cultural differentiation, with respect to one single festival. It is a beautiful presentation. Apart from that, I heard there is this Holy Purnima is said to be a powerful Purnima for a lot of auspicious pujas and mantra part, where it's believed that it is going to, siddhi. It is going to give some power to the person who recite the mantra on this auspicious day. I heard somewhere. So, and it is really very wonderful. You gave in a short time, you have given such a beautiful explanation covering all parts of almost, you have from north to south, east to west, you covered everything. Right from festival to the sweets also you have covered very nicely.
Yes. No, this is one of my favorite festivals because I enjoy the colors, and I'm generally like to see colors. I don't like dull and black and white, gray kind of lives. So I think if there is vibrancy and color in everybody's life, nothing like it, because we all need to have.
Our people have known well before the color therapy also through a lot of festivals.
Very much.
It is not verbally expressed maybe, but it was the meaning of it.
Absolutely.
This festival is full of energy, full of colors, full of love and affection, and it also give a call to forgiveness. Forgive others, embrace them. Forgive even your enemy also, and accept them as your friend. That is the meaning of this festival. And I thank you very much on behalf of all our viewers for giving such a beautiful presentation on our Holi Festival.
Thank you, Mr. Ravindra. It was very, very nice that you thought of it and gave me this opportunity, because, I like to read about all this. And so today I get a forum to speak about it. It's really an honor for me. I wish you a very happy Holi, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am.
Namaskara. Thank you.